Welcome to Look Around the Confederation. I'm your host, Evening Moose, and before we get started, please remember the views and opinions expressed in this broadcast, not necessarily the views and opinions of the SCV. It's GEC, nor in divisions, brigade camps, or any of the subsidiaries. How is everybody doing in Dixieland tonight? We have a great show for you tonight. We have the Louisiana Division Commander on, and he's going to give us an update about the Louisiana Division. But before that, we're going to go into a bit of camp news for tonight and just have a good old time as always. A big year for the Louisiana Division. So they have a lot of great stuff planned. Because I get to load in all the cool pictures, I get a sneak peek. And so I can't wait to hear about what all they have doing or going on. Let me rephrase. It's going to be a great day. If you are in the Louisiana Division, Army of Trans-Mississippi, please definitely share this out. And if you're anywhere else, share this out. You never know what you might learn. It's always good to learn from other divisions, armies, etc. So we have a good group of people in the chat tonight. We have the Lone Ranger, Past Commander-in-Chief Chuck McMichael in the chat, Miss Linda in the chat, Mr. Frank, Mr. Charles Lee Ray, who is the Army of Trans-Mississippi Councilman, Mr. Tony, Ryan, Al, outdoors giving me some grief for starting a smidge late. It's Look Around, it happens. Bless this show. And we have the most sharp-dressed man in the SCV in the chat as well, Past Commander-in-Chief Paul Gramlin Jr. Got a good representation of the Louisiana boys in the chat, and Florida and Tennessee. Mr. Sean's here. Good to see you. All right, everybody. We are going to get started. Let me take a bit of sip of water. It has been a day and a half. I trimmed off my hunting beard and messed up my line. It is jacked to kingdom come, and I'm going to have to deal with that at some point. All right. Let's say we jump into a bit of news. Let's see what we have here first on the bat tonight. First on the bat, we will have the Stephen D. Lee Institute. So the Stephen D. Lee Institute will be February 16th through the 17th in Columbia, Tennessee. The theme of this year will be who we are as a people and an organization. The Friday night reception will be held at the National Confederate Museum on the Southern Heritage Center. Guest speakers are, and I mean, look at the stacked roster we have for this year. It is absolutely saddening that I won't be able to make it, but sometimes stuff like that happens. I will be at another event that we will be talking about in a bit. So let me make sure I have everything ready for that event. All right. Looks like we have some other people in the chat. By the way, the link for the Stephen D. Lee Institute is in the chat below. Let me try to... sometimes things don't load in, and so I'm loading something in right now, so please ignore that. 1 second. All right, I think we're good. But while we're loading in, my camp actually, let's see here, has some news ourselves. So, as you know, last year was my camp's 30th anniversary, the Samuel H. Poe Camp number 255. We made these special edition challenge coins to help continue the ongoing fight for our Southern heritage, as well as celebrate my camp's 30th anniversary. We are very proud of the fact that we have been around for that long. And we wanted to do something big to celebrate. So that is what we have done. And so you can contact either me, I'm the camp adjutant, or my father, the camp commander. They are $10 a piece. Please support my camp if you can. So here we got a bit of other people. It's being videoed this year. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So we hopefully that it will be out soon. I can't wait to watch it. I'll definitely be watching it. That is the Stephen D. Lee Institute that's being videoed. Mr. John from Maryland checking in. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Got a good crowd here tonight. Remember to keep sharing everything out and like the video and, of course, comment. And if you're on Facebook, subscribe. All right, let's get into a bit of other camp news real quick. This is going back to the Tennessee Division. The Tennessee Division made these baseball cards, which has our heroes and ancestors on it, with the goal to help teach youth. I loved baseball cards, or basketball cards, actually, for me. I enjoyed always collecting them and having comparing collections with people. And this is a great way to learn, to get kids invested. So you can contact Mr. Richard Garcia, if I'm not mistaken. They're $20 for 50 cards, and I believe they're also at headquarters. So make sure to get those. I have a couple other comments. Let's see here. Someone asked, yes, ma'am, Miss Linda, he can. Just kind of, Miss Linda, do you follow my SCV page, Harrison SCV at Facebook? Kind of just type in Harrison SCV on Facebook. That's my SCV page. If you could message me on that, I can talk to you, see how many you want, or double check to make sure he has some and bring some. But Dad should have them at the SD Lee Institute. If you're talking about the challenge coins, but if you're talking about the baseball cards, they are sold at HQ. All right, and now the General Forrest 200th Society. So this was made a couple years ago, of course, in honor of General Forrest's 200th birthday. And it is pretty cool. All proceeds go to helping General Forrest's boyhood home. And you get this awesome challenge coin, patch, and label pin. And again, this is just a very cool thing to be a part of. You're celebrating General Forrest. There's only going to be, I believe, 200 people in this. And I think they're probably about running low on it. So I would kind of hurry if you can. That's pretty cool. General Forrest 200 Society. Now, here's something else I'm going to be interested in. They haven't got my money yet. God bless them. I think the deadline is February 16th. Bless their heart. They'll probably get it from me February 15th. But the Alabama Education Conference. Of course, this is just like the Stephen D. Lee. And Alabama has put on a lot of these events in the past. They were great events, knockout events. And, of course, these events give you the bullets in this war, so to speak. So in this cultural war for our heritage, there are two types of bullets: money and knowledge, and the wisdom to use it, or how to use it. And these conferences really help you. I enjoyed when I went to Stephen D. Lee Institute, learned a lot. I sat there taking notes the whole time, and that's only going to make you better and make you a better weapon for protecting our heritage. So make sure you go to this. It is March 16th. Deadline, of course, to sign up is February 16th. And I believe if you don't register after that date, lunch will not be included. But if you do register before that event, it is included. It's $40 either way, if I'm not mistaken. So make sure you send that their way. Alabama is doing a phenomenal job with this. So make sure you help them out. Yeah, and Mr. Sean said there only is a couple left with the General Forrest 200 Society. So make sure to sign up. I will definitely, hopefully, be trying to get that in finally. I've been putting it off for a couple years because, as everybody says together now, I'm a broke college student. I have no money. So make sure you support that. Got our Lieutenant Commander Chief Walter D. Donnie Kennedy in the chat. Good to see you, Commander. All right, going on to the Army of Tennessee workshop, which will be May 4th, the same day as the pilgrimage. It will be from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. It will be in the conference rooms at Elm Springs. There's only 65 spots available for this workshop due to room size, so make sure to register early for your spot. Registration is $15, and that includes lunch. Pre-register by March 15th for lunch. After March, registration fee will be $20 with no lunch guaranteed. Speakers will include membership coordinator Eric Pavetti on commander and adjutant training. Army of Tennessee Councilman Carl Jones on building a better camp. Army of Tennessee Commander Jimmy Hill on community involvement, and others. So there'll be a couple more surprises there for us. So make sure you sign up for that as well. You don't have to be in the Army of Tennessee to sign up. That's welcome to everybody. Again, we're trying to build, learn from each other. So make sure to sign up for that, especially if you'll be at the pilgrimage. As is just another added treat to that great event. And speaking of the pilgrimage will be, of course, that day, and it is an all-day event, just like the Army of Tennessee workshop. But the event, which will be at 11 a.m., if you're at the Army of Tennessee workshop, don't worry, they'll have a break at this time, so you can go enjoy the pilgrimage at the National Confederate Museum in Elm Springs. We'll be meeting by General Forrest's statue this year, and we have a great speaker, Miss Jenny, the President General of the United Daughters of the Confederacy, and it will be great. Make sure that you bring a lawn chair, sunblock, and a cooler, and remember, everybody, no alcohol allowed. All right, we're going to be going now to one of a Lee Jackson banquet, February 10th, this Saturday. It is the Long Street. Now, okay, past Commander-in-Chief Chuck McMichael got on to me for this last time. Not saying that I'm going to get it right this time, but the Longstreet Zollifer Camp 87 of Knoxville, Tennessee. We're going to see if anybody shakes their head behind the scenes. He hasn't. So we're going to go with that was correct. The doors will open at 5 p.m. for social hour, buffet at 6 p.m. Period dress or business attire, $40 a person, $20 for children 12 and under. Price includes door prize tickets. The speaker will be a Dr. William Edgar Potter. Of course, he will be speaking on Stonewall's Adjutant. And of course, if you register for the original event, do not worry. Your ticket is still good. This Saturday also is the 8th annual pilgrimage to the Tomb of the Unknown Confederate Soldier held at beautiful Beauvoir, the last home of Jefferson Davis. This is a event to honor all the unknown Confederate soldiers that died in the war between the states. The event is hosted by the International Order of Oddfellows. That is a phenomenal event. I hope to see some of you there this weekend. It is a phenomenal event, again, to honor our unknown Confederate soldiers. It's a big deal. The Oddfellows do this, I think, for all of the official Tomb of the Unknown soldiers. So it is a big event, big day, and so make sure you're a part of it. Now, the last bit of news, I believe, comes from our Commander-in-Chief himself, Jason Boshears. Commander Kyle Thompson in the chat of Kentucky, the division commander. Last bit of news comes from our commander, Jason Boshears. He has shown Look Around that the cabinets are in. I believe he talked about this last time he was on, but the cabinets are in, and guess what? Now they are set up. And let's see here. The 10 cabinets from the Order of the Southern Cross have been unboxed and put in place. Adam Southern, our executive director, Jimmy Hill, Army of Tennessee commander, Mr. Robert Joelson, and Commander Boshears set them up today. And let's see, here is the finished product. Look at that. Beautiful cabinets. They will be putting artifacts and stuff in the displays tomorrow. Man, they work fast up there. That is an awesome. The museum is ever growing, ever changing, and always getting better. If you haven't been to the museum in a while, it is going to be completely different from the last time you were there. They always improve it. They're always adding stuff, always improving things. Sometimes they improve something small. Sometimes they improve something pretty big, like these new cabinets, which is phenomenal. So please go support our National Confederate Museum in Columbia, Tennessee at the Southern Heritage Center. Victor Smith from the private William Riley Milton Camp 741's in the chat. Good to see you. Oh, no, that's just Santa. He's okay. Don't worry about him, Victor. All right. That is all the camp news we have for today. Now, we will bring on our speaker after this quick Pop-Tart break, and I will introduce him. So everybody, please welcome. Well, let's not put that up. We will be back. Sorry, my mind's everywhere tonight. We will be back with Commander Brian of the Louisiana Division after this Pop-Tart break.
There is a place nestled in the rolling farmland of southern Middle Tennessee. A home constructed in 1837, nearly lost to the ravages of war. Saved by a servant and a Confederate general. A place where families loved and lost. If walls could talk, what stories could be told? If a place, a home, can feel love, loss, pain, surely this is one of those places. Nearby is a more recent structure, and inside are the stories of heroes and heroines, stories of battles won and lost, stories of sacrifices made by the people of its native soil. A place that will tell the true and complete story of the Southland and the war fought for its freedom. From the causes that led to the conflict to the modern-day struggles to protect Southern history. Historic Elm Springs and the Confederate Museum at Elm Springs are the general headquarters for the Sons of Confederate Veterans. A place where the story of the Southland and its historic struggle is preserved and told. Come and discover your history.
Great Pop-Tart break as always. I welcome, without further delay, Louisiana Division Commander Brian McClure.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you for having me on the show tonight. I do want to answer a couple of comments real quick.
Of course.
What I wanted to say was, number one, support the National Confederate Museum. People don't understand how important it is. We see it out there across this country, the way this culture war, as you described, is going on. We need this museum more than ever to tell the true story of the South the way it should be told. The other thing is also support your smaller museums across the country that are SCV friendly, that are Confederate friendly. For instance, somebody mentioned, they said the Downtown Museum in Vicksburg, that's the old courthouse museum. And they do a lot with us. We've been over there from Louisiana to help out Mississippi and stuff like that. And also Camp Moore down here in Louisiana. So, it's really, really important to support, whether it's, going to these places, visiting these places, but also in the way of donations, because, they cannot keep the doors open without, people supporting them. And that goes with our National Museum, which I'm so glad to see the cabinets moving in. I can't wait to see when all that gets all finished. Paul said, good evening, Paul. Good evening, Chuck. And I don't know who's from the Mouton camp, but I don't see a name attached to that. But anyway, let's jump in, I guess, So some big news from Louisiana. Number one, January the 19th of this year marked the 125th anniversary of the division. It was formed in January the 19th, 1899. So we've kind of tried to plan out big events, a lot of stuff, kind of pack things in this year than we have before. And one of the things I kind of want to start off talking about is just one we just had that was pretty much a rain dance, singing in the rain kind of situation. That was the big Mardi Gras parade in Monroe. It wasn't a big turnout as we hoped because it rained like from that afternoon all the way through the night. But we did have a special visitor who came all the way from Tennessee. Our commander-in-chief, Jason Moshears, there he is with some of the guys that posed there that were doing the rifle teams for the parade. It was a really good turnout, and he marched the whole thing in the rain. So props off to the commander-in-chief for doing that. It was really great to have him out there. And, the crowd wasn't as big as it normally is, but there was really decent sized crowd out there. And I was telling, I think it was Chuck today, I told him that, you're going to have that occasional negativity here and there. You're just going to have it. That's how it is. But what made it all worthwhile is I looked over and there was a little girl, probably 8, 9 years old. And I told her Happy Mardi Gras, and she said Happy Mardi Gras back. And then she looked at me, she said, just like this, and I mean, that validation right there. I mean, I wish I had a camera, could take a picture, but it was raining. But that's the thing. That's why you do it. I mean, that's why you do this. And so I just wanted to shout out about the Mardi Gras parade. I think, I don't know how many years it's been going on. Somebody in the chat may could say, but it's been going on for decades now. The SCV has been represented, and we're going to still roll along. So it was kind of a great way to kick things off for the year. And let's see. Next thing I want to talk about is traditionally that first Saturday in March has kind of been Flag Day, Confederate Flag Day. And so we were thinking about, I forgot about that picture. That's a little something I threw together. And I believe those words right there. We've been here for 125 years, and we'll continue to be here as long as good men are willing to take a stand. And that's what it's all about. As long as we have people with boots on the ground, we will never, ever be defeated, ever. And no matter how much they complain, how much they whine, how much they cry, we will always be there defending our ancestors' good name and the history and our heritage. What we'll go then talk about a little bit is what I've got listed here is I'm going to kind of tell a little background story. When everything was going on with the Shreveport Monument, when they wanted it to be removed from Shreveport, there was a professor at a local university here in the town that I live in Ruston, who basically got on Twitter and said, well, don't worry about getting that big statue. You need to go over these little tiny statues like in Homer and Minden and these different places. And basically started a big ruckus about people wanting to be bussed in to try to remove these monuments. We had reports of BLM coming from Texas and other stuff. Well, needless to say, we had a lot of great guys that came together, and we actually moved those monuments. The Minden Monument was moved to Pleasant Hill. The Homer Monument we wanted to put back in Claiborne Parish, and so it was kind of stored away while we began work on a park. This land is being provided by a member of the Louisiana Division, and we just recently put up a flagpole and the monument. And I think you got a picture of that. Yeah. Still a lot of work to do out there, but we got it presentable. So that's it at night, kind of lit up. We will be having a rededication to the Homer Monument on March the 2nd. and we're inviting everybody. Please come out to attend. There'll be some more information we'll be putting out on this. You can check on Facebook, and we'll be sending it through some email things in order to get the times and the I'm trying to say the address to the place. But it's on private land, so it's protected. As far as we're concerned, it'll never be moved again. And we stopped them from doing something to our heritage. And like I said, a lot of great Louisiana members came together to help take care of this and put it together. And my hats off to every one of them that did that. And so, like I said, we've got, like I said, more plans out there. At some point, we're talking about doing like a little garden kind of deal, putting memorial bricks out there, things like that, benches, but that'll all come with time. The main thing is we've got it. The monument's been put back up. Got the flagpole out there. It looks really nice out there. And one of the things where it's actually at, we got a state park over there called Claiborne State Park. And if you're going to Claiborne State Park, you have to pass by the flagpole and the monument. So that's a great thing. It'd be very visible. See the next thing was the weekend after that is March 9th and 10th. That is going to be a sponsored by the Lieutenant Elijah Ward Camp. 1971 is the Battle of Darbone Landing. It's up here in North Louisiana near the little town of Farmerville, Louisiana. And this is a huge deal with these people in the community. I went to a meeting the other night, and I thought it was just going to be the state park and just a few other people kind of involved with the maintenance crew and stuff like that at the park. But when I got there, the lieutenant governor's office was there. The mayor was there, all newspaper, radio, all the Chamber of Commerce, the museum, the library representative, they're all into it. And why were they all there? It goes back to taking back your communities. It's about getting working with these different people, and you will take back your community. And all these people have been on board. They love it. I think I've got a picture of some of us standing around with pistols. Okay, this picture right here, this is actually before we actually decided to do the reenactment. But the man in the aqua blue shirt, he's from the lieutenant governor's office. That's Mike Walsworth. And the man in the lime green shirt, that's John Crow. He's the mayor of Farmerville. And you can see me and two other guys, Sylvester Martinez and Ron Butler. Sylvester is second lieutenant commander, state commander, and Ron is the Northeast Brigade commander. And, I've talked about this before, about this Louisiana bushwhacker thing. And it's sort of like, call it like a strike force, in a lack of a better term, where we can go in and do things without having to have a reenactment or having a big deal. We can just come into these little small events, put on a little show, shoot each other, like, redlegs and bushwhackers and things like that. And people just love it. And they really got into it and what they saw that day, and they wanted to pose with us. We didn't ask them to pose with the pistols. They wanted to pose with us. So that just kind of shows you the enthusiasm they get behind this, these things that we do. And we made a lot of great allies here in North Louisiana because of it. So that'll be going on. Also, with this event, the public is welcome to come. We encourage the public to come. Any reenactors that are wanting to come that's around, Arkansas, Texas, Mississippi. I mean, y'all want to come from Virginia, that's fine too. Y'all can go to the, I got a screenshot of that, the LouisianaBushwhackers.com website, and there's like an online registration deal. So it's really easy. You don't have to pay until you get there. It's a $10 registration fee, but there will be powder rations and things like that for the reenactors. Top Hat Sutlery, anybody that knows them, they'll be there. And like I said, We want as many people that can come to this as possible, because it's that area is really turning pro-Confederate, and we can just keep the fire on it. I think it could really turn into something even bigger, a big place that we can recruit new members from. We'll be doing a school day on Friday, so bring the kids in. So I think overall it'll be a great event. Not only a great reenactment, but a great recruitment day for the event for the SCV as well. Let's see. Then we have the next weekend over will be the Rich Taylor camp will be having their Redbud Festival. I hope I said that right, Chuck. I know he's listening. If I got it wrong, he'll hit me with a stick. But he's they'll be having that. That's always a big one. Another town that is very supportive of us. And that's what we find when we go out here, these events. You might not be able, so to speak, like have a huge impact in some of the larger towns, but these small towns, they love us. And when they ask us to be there, you never turn down an invitation. You find a way to get boots on the ground there. All right. Now, the big thing we've got coming up is on April the 6th. That is the Army of Trans-Mississippi National SCV event. That will be at Mansfield State Historic Site. That will be celebrating not only 125 years of Louisiana Division, but also 160th anniversary of the Red River Campaign. So we're planning on we're going to have speakers, we're going to have infantry, we're going to have artillery. So we'll have infantry demonstrations, artillery demonstrations. We'll have a live band there that day. And so it should be a really good event. We encourage everybody, it's not just for ATM. I mean, Mississippi police come over across the river. It's just a drive down I-20 and then a little south. But it should be shaping up to be a very good event. We've gotten pretty good responses from people so far that have said they're coming. But like I said, it should start about, like I said, on this poster from 10 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. We'll have several different speakers. They're listed on here. We'll have Scott Dearman, who is, he just retired as the Mansfield site manager. Mr. Charles Array, our ATM councilman, he'll be there. Dr. John Goddard from Shreveport, and of course, Chuck McMichael, past SCV Commander-in-Chief, will be also speaking. But it should be a really good event to help celebrate, this milestone event. Not only Louisiana turning 125, but also the fact of, it's the 160th of the Red River Campaign. What better way to celebrate than actually be there at Mansfield? So we encourage everyone to please come out for that. They got a wonderful museum. Of course, on that poster, you can kind of see the top of it. It is. I'm seeing a lot of comments from my Louisiana compatriots in there, but they are very correct. Largest battle and victory for us. And as Paul said, the site is the largest battle west of the Mississippi River. It is, like I said, this event happens only once. We're not going to celebrate 126th anniversary. We're not going to celebrate the 161. Okay. We're celebrating 160th and 125th. You got two right there together. So what better way to go? And let me kind of show another picture of that logo. Okay. This logo right here, this is a logo for the event. This logo is being made into pins that you can wear. So if you want one, you got to be there. Okay. And we'll have some other little things, division coins and such as that. But I think it'd be something else to have one of those medals to wear on your lapel. And in conjunction with this is the next weekend, We have, well, of course, will be the Battle of Pleasant Hill reenactment. But later that night, if you go back one, that's it right there. We're going to have a kickoff to Pleasant Hill reenactment on April the 6th that night at 6 p.m. at the Mansfield Female College Museum. And this adds a little something extra to it for those that want to go to this. The Mansfield Female College, I think it was actually established in somewhere in the 1850s by the Methodist Church. And it is, I think it is the only, they might correct me, I think it was the only woman's institute for higher learning west of the Mississippi River at that time. So it's a nice place to go visit, and we're going to have a nice little kind of kickoff of Pleasant Hill, which is always a great thing. Pleasant Hill is one of our most attended, biggest reenactments in the state. I can't say enough about Pleasant Hill. If you haven't been to a reenactment in Louisiana, you need to go to Pleasant Hill. That's it right there. I mean, Pleasant Hill, that is the one. Now, from what I've heard, usually we're looking at probably the numbers of reenactors will probably be almost double this year because it is the 160th. So, and we'll have a lot of vendors. We'll have a lot of good stuff going on. We'll start off with a Kids Day on Friday, all the different schools. And Caitlin is still in the comments. She might correct me, but I think we had over 800. It was over 800 something school kids last year that came through on buses. So that I mean, we were with the Bushwhackers, and we were doing little scenarios for the kids, and they were doing one every 15 minutes. And I thought, good grief. I mean, it was like a revolving door of kids. Boom, boom, boom. But it was so great to be able to reach that many people. And like I said, this our division is really tight. We work together. It's all a team deal, working with different organizations, working with different government officials, different with this, to make all this happen. And, we have a great bunch of people. See, and there's Caitlin, over 800, expecting more this year. So that's the thing. I mean, it's going to be a great deal. So all this kind of just flows into it, flows in. And we've, like I said, going back, I mean, and, people come to the April 6th event. Think about staying over a week, take some vacation days, and just come on and watch the reenactment while you're at it too. But we really are encouraging people to come out to this, and we'll be putting out more stuff later as it gets closer, a lot more details, and we might have some things we add to this. But it should be really good. And let's see, the other thing, somewhat Pleasant Hill. Oh, let me get to this part. The next thing, we're having our Louisiana Division reunion in May, on May 17th and 18th. And it will be hosted. It's hosted by Lieutenant General Richard Taylor Camp, 1308. And it will be in Freeport. And if anybody wants any information on the hotels, registration, all that, I've got a little, you can go to their website, but I also have it posted on, if you show the next screenshot, I think. Yeah, if you go to Louisiana Division website, I've got where you can click on the Battle of D'Arbonne, and I also got a link where you can click on the division reunion, and it'll take you to all that information and stuff like that. But like I said, we are really looking forward to all this. Really looking forward to. We got a lot of other stuff coming up later in the year. We got another SCV sponsored reenactment later on in September. So we're just really pushing it. And like I said, we've got great people in the state making things moving and shaking. Like I said, there's no way you could do all this without the good people in the state of Louisiana. And I can't say that enough. But like I said, going back, I mean, like I said, when we were talking about when I was talking about the Claiborne Confederate Memorial Park, I mean, that's something I never would have thought we would see, where we're actually going to have a park out there in North Louisiana. I mean, somebody, like I said, someone was nice enough to donate the land and things like that. And the camp there, the Claiborne Invincible 797, they have done a fantastic job cleaning up, cutting down brush, mowing that, making it all look nice and everything else. I was also going to say, if anybody wants to help sponsor, like example, that Battle of Darbone Landing, if anybody feels like wants to sponsor or give something or whatever, just email me at louisianascv.com. Let me back that up. louisianascv@gmail.com, and send me your info or whatever, and I'll get back with you on all that if you want to do anything like that. I think that, I'm just going to stop a moment and just say this, that, we have such a great amount of people in this state from, the Kennedys. We got 2 past commander in chiefs, in the state. And we've got great brigade commanders. And, but not only that, I mean, we've got people who are so dedicated to the cause. I mean, I've seen people do multiple events in one day, go from one west side of state to the other side of state in one day. I see people on the roads about every weekend, going out there doing something. I mean, and everybody does things, it doesn't have to be anything big. I mean, we've got guys that all they do is they go out and they clean headstones. We've got guys that sponsor this or sponsor that or litter, the Adopt a Highway programs. Like I said, we've got all kind of camps that are working really hard for the cause, and just phenomenal. I know that the Sabine Rifles camp just got through working and doing the Wreaths Across America, where they went out and identified all the different veterans in Sabine Parish and put wreaths out on all the graves. Once again, that's working with your communities, working with them. But let's see if I miss anything. Yeah. So that's kind of like the first half of the year. Later on, after the reunion, we always have a big memorial service and Greenwood Cemetery in Freeport, and also one at Hillcrest that same day. One in the morning, well, both of them actually in the morning, one early, one mid-morning. Let's see. What else we got? And of course, in June, we'll have our normal Confederate Memorial Day. We'll have one in each brigade. Also, for those that don't know, in June, on June the 8th this year, they have the day the war stopped. That's in St. Francisville. That's where the Union commander of a ship was shot, and he basically, under a flag of truce, asked the local Masonic Lodge in St. Francisville that they were firing on, would they help do a Masonic burial? And that is a really, really nice. I mean, if you haven't seen it, you should see it. It's a really educational event. Let's see. We got Port Hudson event in June. We have all kinds of lager festivals, watermelon festivals. Yeah, it's some of these towns. It just depends on what it is. We got chicken festivals. We got good old days festivals. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But like I said, this is probably one of the busiest we've been in quite some time, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing to be this busy, and to have all these little friendly places that we can do this. And we really appreciate everybody in this state that supports SCV and basically supports the cause, because we know we see what's out there. And luckily, Louisiana has been one of these states that hasn't been hit as hard like some states with organized groups like Antifa, BLM, things like that. I don't really consider some parts of the state actually to be parts of Louisiana. I think they have done turned somewhere else, but it's just, but for the most part, Louisiana, we don't get a lot of the, as much of the hassle like some of your bigger states. And like I said, it's all shaping up to be a great year, especially one for the 125th birthday for Louisiana.
Wow. Y'all definitely do have a busy schedule this year, Commander. A lot of great events planned. I will hopefully get to sneak over across the Mississippi River and come enjoy the 125th year of the Louisiana Division. A couple events I'm hoping to go to. Fingers crossed that I'm able to make it. Is there anything else you would like to talk about, Commander?
Well, I just read something from our Lieutenant CIC where he said the Socialist Republic of Louisiana is not a part of Confederate Louisiana. That is 100% correct. He knows what I'm talking about. There's just certain parts. I'm not going to say exactly where they are. They could be on the Gulf Coast somewhere. But anyway, it's almost like if somehow it just floated away to Cuba somewhere, we wouldn't complain. It would be awesome. But no, I just want to say that, and I want to say this to the entire Confederation, this is hard work. Nothing is going to happen by just sitting around and typing clickety-clack on your keyboards on Facebook. I may rant just a second, but I'm just going to go ahead and take this time to rant because, look, the problem is that you got to get off your rear end. What's it going to take for you to get off your rear end? I mean, I said this 2 weeks ago at camp meeting. I said, look, our ancestors, they sat up here and said, I have a choice. I either can, go out here to go to war, or I can stay home where it's safe. But they went out to war and they sacrificed their lives, their homes, their families. And I'll ask you, it's like, can you clean the gutter, your leaves out of the gutter next weekend? Do you think you can come to this event? I mean, I'm sorry to say it like this, but it just really gets on my nerves that it's like, do you not see what's going on out there? I mean, here's the problem. Everybody's inside the big ballroom dancing, and they're not looking outside the window watching the town burn down, okay? We have got to get motivated. We have got to get off our rear ends, and we've got to quit playing this apathy thing, because I tell people all the time, all these organizations you name and all this stuff, this is not the problem. We're always going to have people that don't like us. I mean, you just throw that out there and say, we're always going to have people that don't like us. But the fact is, it's apathy. When good men do nothing, but they love to talk about it, though, especially on social media, like, oh, things are so bad. And then they say, like, what's the SCV going to do about it? I'm like, well, what are you going to do about it? Well, I got this. I don't want to hear all that. Either you're with us or you're not. Put your boots on, put your big britches on, and come out there and, support the cause. It's like this, when we say that charge, this is not something that you say that you just recite like it's just the same old. I mean, think about those words that you're saying, the emulation, the perpetuation. I mean, you're talking about, everything that our ancestors were came from their ancestors. Everything we are came from our who we are, and our values and our principles come from our parents. What they taught us came from their parents, and it goes back and goes back. And this is what your left wingers or blues or whatever you want to call them, Marxists, that's what they want. It's not about the statues. The statues is just something you can see and touch. they want to get rid of that, sure, because why? Because we can take away anything you can identify with. And we can take that flag that's behind me and take it away from you. You can't identify with it anymore. We can make this illegal. It's not, you can't touch it anymore. You can't rally around it anymore. So it's like trying to strip little pieces all the time of your culture and your heritage. They want to make you just like them. You know, they want to tear down your beliefs, your principles, these same beliefs that our ancestors passed down to us. You know, the same things that they believe. They want to destroy this. And I'm telling you that people have got to get off their rear end. That is the only way. And the other thing is, I'm just going to say, like, politics be damned, okay? Politics, all this thing, it is not getting us anywhere. People need to put stuff to the side and say, why are we fighting for? We're fighting for that flag. We're fighting for our ancestors. We're fighting for those soldiers, because in the South, this Southern soil is our Confederate veterans' blood is ingrained in the soul and in the soil that we walk upon. They bled defending their homes. At least you can do is come out with this and wave a flag, stand on a street corner somewhere. Okay. All right. What's your excuse? I mean, our ancestors didn't have an excuse. They just picked up a rifle and they went, because they were ingrained. They were bred that way. That's the way they were brought up to believe. So my thing is, across this confederation is that we're not going to get anywhere unless you get off your rear ends. I'm just saying it. Okay. And I mean, and the thing about it is, you might not can go off every weekend and do this, and you might not have the funds to do this, but you can do something. You can write to your Congress people, okay? You can write to your senators. You can write to your representatives. You can write to your governors. You can write to the U.S. Congress, okay? You can let them know how you stand with this, okay? But, you know, until you do, they're not going to know. You have to put the fear in them. You have to show them what Southerners are really all about. You have to take a little bit of that Scotch-Irish blood in you, and you have to learn how to be stubborn and obstinate. And you have to tell them, look, we ain't putting up with this. We ain't going to put up with this. No. You know, we're not dealing with this. Take your stuff and move it back to California. But it's time for good men to make a stand, okay? Finally, to make a stand, because we are the line. We are the thin gray line. Okay. We are the thin gray. There is nobody else behind us. There's not like reinforcements back there. Like, okay, we're kind of down and beaten down. Come on, guys. No, we are it. We are it. And we need every good person in this organization, every good Southerner, join our forces. And not just the men. We need the women involved. We need the children involved. We need that next generation coming up. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of leave it on that note. It's like, what's it going to take? What kind of fire do we got to light? Okay, now some people might not like me talking like that, but that's okay, because I'm telling you the truth. And everybody knows it. Okay, it's time to get up. It's time to make a stand. It's time to forward those colors. It's time to take back what is ours. Okay, and the only way we can do it is just like I've been talking about, all this I've been talking about tonight. Go to these small festivals. Go to these small events, do these things. And if you're not physically able to, and you like to clickety clack so much on Facebook, and by God, you can get on and clickety clack to your senators and your representatives and everybody else that's out there and let them know, hey, you know, we're here and we're going nowhere, and I'm a voter too. So with that, I said my piece.
Whew. Man, I love having you on. Makes my job 10.
Well, I was in full Baptist minister mode today, but you know, but I get a little excited sometimes.
Hey,
I'm passionate about this. I mean, I'm just a passionate person about this, you know. And the thing about it is, just the way I was bred, the way I was raised by my grandparents, you know, that I know good and well that if something's going on, I just can't sit on my couch, okay, and think somebody's going to do it for me. That's not the way I was raised. And I don't think 90-something% of the people listening to this tonight are the same way either. I think that I mean, I see all these names in this chat, and I know a lot of these names, and I know these names that I see up there are out there, doing it. They're out there pushing it. They're making it happen. We're gonna hold that charge close to our hearts, and we're gonna raise that flag high, and we're gonna storm whoever we got to storm. And here's the deal: we will always be standing if it's just one of us. If just one of us is left with our boots on, and 10,000 of them are coming across that hill, we're still gonna stand there. Because what we believe and what we think is right. And we know in our hearts is right. Because we know it's our hearts right because of two things. One, it's because of our family and the way we were taught, and because of God above. Okay? God is our vindicator. Amen to that. Okay.
Amen.
So I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't get too more fired up. I'll be jumping up, shaking my fist, and start really come preaching and bring on one of them little handkerchiefs and sweat my forehead. So anyway,
I do love having you on, Commander. It is fantastic. And I mean, what else can we add to that, people? There's always something you can do, and I always hear it a lot, especially on the chat. I guess some people think that we are just the SCV Facebook page with chat put on to the end of it. I have no idea, but I hear messages all the time and see them in group chats, in public forums where our enemies can see them. Well, what is so-and-so doing? What is the division, camp, brigade, army, national doing? Most commonly national. The camp is the most powerful part of us. It is the backbone of the SCV. You can use that to change a lot more than you think. And for people who don't have a lot of money, who can't travel a lot, there's still something you can do. You have to find what you can contribute to this cultural war we're in, because everybody's got to contribute. There's not one single member, and I'm not even going to just say of the SCV, of the Southern heritage that can sit back in this thing. If you're scared, there's still ways you can fight. If you are on the front line, but there's something you just don't feel comfortable doing, there's something you can do. No one has an excuse not to do anything. Exactly. Especially with how much in danger our heritage has gotten. We've won battles, but now we need to start planning on winning the war. And the only way we can do that is if everybody stands together. So I'm not going to take all his thunder tonight. I feel like Commander Brian will kick me next time he sees me, and he might see me in April, so I'm going to be careful. So make sure to share this out. Again, we talked about the Louisiana division. We talked about camp news tonight, so you might not feel like, maybe there was no news covered in Florida or Tennessee or Virginia tonight. That's okay. Sometimes I don't get any news for the week, or sometimes we focus on the speaker and complete for the whole time. That's okay. You can still learn from something. Like just these past 10 minutes. It's been a great past 10 minutes, and then you get to learn all the stuff beforehand. Like the school days, the 800 kids y'all. That I cannot tell you how happy that makes me for Pleasant Hill and for the Louisiana division. All you living historians, reenactors that are doing that. That's phenomenal, and I love your ideas, Commander. I've always learned a lot anytime the Louisiana division comes on. Share this out. You will learn something. You will get the fire in you. You will find something you need in each episode. When we talk about camp news, I'll get it out eventually. Army news, national news, just congratulating a new member. There's something you can find in anything if you look hard enough. And I think we have a lot for you to look through tonight. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to share this out. Now, before I do leave, I did almost miss some news. It's embarrassing because my camp member is putting on this event. So I might get not reelected to adjutant, but I am putting it on, Jerry. So don't hurt me. The Battle of Texas Hospital, the 160th anniversary, will be in Quitman, Mississippi, February 16th through the 18th. Special attractions this year will be the replica Hunley submarine, the unreconstructed band, Mr. Allen in his coffee wagon, John T. Wayne, the grandson of John Wayne, Gregory Newsom, artist and writer, a blacksmith, top hat sutler, food vendors, ladies' tea, and a children's battle. Entrance fee is $10 per vehicle. School day will be February 16th. Make sure, if you can, to support this event. Great event. As I said, and I want to be clear, my camp doesn't put this on. One of our members does. God bless him. But he does an outstanding job with this every year. My camp will have a table if you want to come say hi. Moose and the Samuel H. Poe camp will be on site. I hope to dress out this year. Last year I had to stay at the table. So please support all these great events you heard about today if you can. If you can't, maybe share a post about the event. Maybe invite people to it. If you have money, maybe donate something to it. There's always something you can do in this war. So thank you all for watching. Again, just one more time, please share this out and make sure you tune in to SCV Chat this upcoming Monday at 7 p.m. Confederate Standard Time. And I had a brain fart there. It's been a week. I've had a long week. I want to ask everybody to thank Commander Brian for coming on. He gave us his time tonight to talk about the Louisiana Division. So, again, share it, and please thank the Commander. And thank you, Commander, for coming on tonight and giving a great talk.
Thank you. And last thing I want to say, because somebody said in the comments, is this flag behind me is the Republic of Louisiana flag, for those that didn't know. Somebody wanting to know what it is. So, and maybe sometime I'll tell you the whole history behind it. But
I feel like the person who is asking for it knows the history.
They know it.
He just likes seeing his flag talked about. That would be like me with the Magnolia flag behind me. Right. This is the Republic of Mississippi flag. Mississippi didn't have a state flag till this. Every time I see it, I'm just like smiling from ear to ear. I had to mess with our Lieutenant Commander in Chief. But thank you all for watching and tuning in, and we'll see you later. And remember, my friends, to stay Southern. Good night, everybody.